Okay. We have quite a few things to go over tonight, so if we could keep everything moving, because we have the big guns coming in after us, the city council, so we're gonna try to get to everything here this evening. So I'd like to open up the Traffic and Public Safety Committee, and can you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Republic for which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent, thank you. Andy, could I get roll call, please?
Yes, Jim Moriarty,
Here.
Shirley Burke. Matt Suits,
Here.
Carrie Dobbs.
Here.
Mike Foster. Karina Olson.
Here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. And so it's just one absent. Okay, moving on to community comments. Do we have Jordan online? Andy? Okay. Hello, Jordan.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, how you doing?
Okay. Good. How are you guys? Thank you for hosting this meeting and inviting us all. Sorry I couldn't be there in person. I have 3 sick kids at home.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Go ahead.
I was just wanted to join and check in on the status of speed humps throughout the neighborhood, specifically Faraday Hills development. Yay to the ones on Sweetwater. Thank you guys so much for approving those. Those are a great addition to the neighborhood. We're still having significant speeding issues on Curran Creek Drive. And so I just wanted to check in, which I'm sure you'll go over today, about the status of those. And I've also submitted an application, a physical application today for those speed humps.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Do you have how are the
Excuse
speed
me.
humps on Sweetwater there? Have you been out of the house recently?
Yeah, yes, I have, and they're great. Some comments from some neighbors is they aren't very high. And so people are still, speeding over them, but I think it's definitely slowing people down. And so hopefully just having the presence of them there will be good. But everybody seems super excited to have them, and we're very thankful for that addition.
Okay, excellent. Do you need any more signs, Jordan?
I'm sure that the neighborhood could use them. I'm not sure on the policy of me putting them in the in the public spaces, like throughout the street where it's not on people's private property, the community, I don't know what those are called, like the front strips.
Right.
If we can put some throughout the neighborhood even more so, that would be wonderful. I love that they all look the same in addition to our personal ones that we all have as well.
Right. Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you. We'll definitely recommend the application and
Thank you.
we'll definitely look at it and we'll send it to the, thank you, Andy. Send it to the
Awesome.
city council.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just submitted it tonight. But everybody who I was able to speak to in the neighborhood is really excited and in support of them.
Excellent. Thank you
Yeah, thank you.
for everything, Jordan, and hopefully everyone gets better soon.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right. Excellent. Next one up is Christian. Come on up. Yeah, right up here to the microphone. You get your 3 minutes, sir.
All right. Well, I can empathize with Jordan because this week I've had maybe 30 or 40% lower ridership than past weeks, and I'm ridership of my school bus. I drive a school bus for City of Estacada School District.
Nice.
And my route goes through some of the more interesting areas of traffic in our city, and that's why I wanted to come speak tonight. I've had a couple of years now of observation of the construction that's happening. My route includes Sweetwater and Kern Creek, both of which Jordan just mentioned. It also includes Deuce and the junction with Eagle Creek Highway and River Mill and Eagle Creek Highway. And it gets to see the changes that have happened with traffic controls and passive communications, and now what I would call with the speed humps, or as the English like to call them, sleeping policemen, active intervention on dealing with people's behavior and driving. I also wanted to just give a word of empathy for people that have long commutes, especially the people that are moving into the new development. There aren't jobs here that support buying a house that's a $500,000. You have to commute.
Definitely.
And, or there are very few jobs, let's put it that way. And I, for nearly 30 years, did an 80-mile round trip commute. I know the pain of that and what it does to your attention, your higher brain function, making long drives like that when you're tired. So I'm not here to complain about drivers. I'm here to say, what can we do to make it clearer in passive ways with signage and in active ways? And speed humps are a really great active measure. In driving a school bus, we have warning lights and a stop arm that swings out that has all kinds of flashing lights. It's really impossible to miss a school bus, especially at this time of year in the morning when it's dark on the first run. And Sweetwater and Kern Creek and Eagle Creek and Deuce and Kern Road, these are all roads I drive twice in the morning and twice in the afternoon, Monday through Thursday, and on Fridays it's a little different schedule. But and there are 20 plus of us doing the same thing and covering all 750 square miles of the school district where there are students. So if you want to ask about traffic, just come down to the bus barn and hang out and have coffee with us, and we'll share it with you for sure. But the speed humps are awesome. I have been watching, the constructions happening in there. There's lots of obstacles. There's constant change. I see I'm almost out of time, so I'm trying to speed up. For more than 2 years. And this past week, I've had 0 red light runners on Sweetwater since the speed humps went in. And that was my number 2 spot,
Okay.
at least twice a week. Eagle Creek Highway is my number 1 spot. So I'm very much in favor of them. And I'm driving a bus full of kids. Believe me, they comment on every change. They aren't complaining. They are happy, and people are driving more slowly.
Good.
And I'm not being passed, illegally. None of that's happening. So whatever we can do to put more of those around town, I'm happy to help and find out where the trouble parts
Excellent.
are.
We'll take you up on the
Okay.
meeting you over at the bus barn.
That's what I
Super.
was gonna say.
Thank
When
you,
is a
guys.
good time to have coffee at the bus
So-
barn?
Yeah, so call, so our supervisor had an accident, a horrible accident. She broke her leg. But if you call over to the bus barn and talk to Pam Wool or Cole, they can set up a proper time. We have meetings twice a week and they could slot you in, I'm sure.
Great, wonderful, thank you.
Thank
Thank you, Chris. Thank
Welcome.
you. All right, moving on. The next one we have is Tracy Hayes.
Hi,
Hello.
all right, I'm from Campanella, big surprise. Campanella's here again. I believe in the meeting we had at the park, I thanked everybody for all the work that's gone in so far. Into Hillway, it's been a tremendous amount of help. The stop signs recently, those have really helped a lot. Talking with neighbors, kind of everyone put a wish list together if you would. Some of the things that they're wanting is stop sign right at that Hillway extension. So when you're coming down into Hillway from the upper extension, a stop sign there. So it's basically Hill and Forest Park. Get people to stop before they're coming in because they're just full speed ahead when they're coming down the hill. And so that was one of the items that we're really hoping that we can get installed. And then just beyond that, you've got the crosswalk. Well, it's a blind corner there. Where the crosswalk is actually at the blind corner where they did the white across the road. So we'd like to see it move to the second set of, you've got the
The one that's at
curbs.
the angle.
Yes,
Okay.
kind of just move it to the one further away, where there is a crosswalk, but there is no, white in the road.
Okay.
That would be really helpful. Just a lot of people are out walking and stuff and it's really dangerous. Of course, we talked about additional speed humps. I did see one recently added. They're at the extension. Was curious if there was plans for any more throughout Hill.
On the Hillway extension?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I know myself, city manager, Public Works, and Councilor Metcalf and we all met out in Campanella about a month and a half ago, and we all discussed Liberty, another speed hump, the ones on your street, Hillway going to Eagle Creek, and, all the crosswalks also.
yeah,
So one has been done and the other one hasn't
Right.
on Liberty, so. thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
So the other thing, more of a question, like something that I think would be super beneficial citywide. They have those mobile traffic radar trailers.
Mhm.
And just with all of the constant speeding throughout the city and as we continue to grow, would that be a beneficial thing to add to the city for us? Obviously, we know we have an initial cost, but what would it take to, pay for itself with all of the tickets that we're handing out with that thing?
Okay.
We talk about maybe changing speed limits, going from 25 to 20. But when they're not obeying the speed limits now, what makes you think they're gonna obey them when you're at 20 miles an hour? So having that enforcement, I think would kind of kick them in the rear and say, hey, like, let's pay attention here. And I think just company wide, so I'm curious, or I mean, it's citywide, so I'm curious if that's something we can look into.
I think we can, and I can defer that to chief down here. This is the new police chief here that you met
Yeah.
last month.
Yeah, so the city does have a radar trailer. I actually just talked to the city manager about it this evening. It's been out of commission, had some parts it needed, and I'm told it's maybe back up and running. So that will be something that we'll deploy throughout the city for some of the problem areas. The interesting part about those radar trailers is we don't issue citations from them because the radar units in them normally aren't certified as often as the ones that we use for work. But they are an indicator, right? And then our deputies can also use their own speed detection devices to reinforce what they're seeing on the radar trailer.
Right, so you're saying you cannot ticket from that?
No,
Now, is there, because I was kind of looking online just to do a little research, and it looks like there are some that you are able to ticket from?
there are some, my understanding is they're pretty expensive.
Okay.
And they go through a different certification process and they have to maintain a certification process
Okay.
to be used for actual enforcement. Otherwise, they're just a visual reminder of what you're doing.
So is there a way we can look into that just to see cost and then say, hey, this is what the cost is? What kind of revenue would we have to generate from,
We can always look and see what it would cost. Absolutely.
that would be awesome. The other thing I have just really quick is the trailer on Eagle Creek. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I'm sure everyone's seen it.
Yes.
And do we have any plans for that? Are we contracted with the towing company? Are they supposed to tow it? I know they don't want the burden of it. What does that look like for us?
Melanie, I know.
Yes. So this is the one down by Wildcat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it as well. So there are different funding sources throughout the county that, and it's pretty limited because towing those and disposing them is very expensive. So as the city manager pointed out, it's outside the city, right? It's outside like what the city would budget for. So, but you can get online to the sheriff's office page. There's a traffic complaint piece.
Okay.
So the sheriff's office would take those complaints and then they prioritize all of these. I talked to, excuse me, our traffic unit about it. And right now we don't have extra funds for more trailers, but if there's enough people talking about it, that's what moves the needle. And you guys are really good about like making it known that, something's a problem. So
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
okay, perfect. So that's what we'll do then.
Mhm.
And one last thing, can I?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
code enforcement, just a quick question on that. How many days a week do we have code enforcement in this town? In the city? Code enforcement.
We have a code enforcement staff person here 2 days a week, depending on which days, that's very loud, but it's usually early on in the week, and then, but sometimes they come in later also. And then I would say sometimes if there's an issue, they'll also check email, follow up on things with deputies on, on the days that they're not here. We do also have deputies here 7 days a week. And so if there's a critical issue, like something's blocking a street or something that's hazardous or dangerous, they would take care of that. But mostly code enforcement it's usually private property, and it kind of takes some time to roll through. So we have them come in a couple days a week, move those things forward. And then by the time lapse has passed where they can respond again, they're back to take care of that. So, yeah.
So if you have an issue, then it's more or less reach out to Clackamas County then? Because you were saying it's more like kind of.
If it's an urgent issue where there's like something blocking the street or something like that, I would call that into the non-emergency line so that a deputy can respond. If it's a concern with a parked car that's not necessarily blocking the street, or somebody's, a person's property who potentially, as spring comes around again and things will start to get overgrown, or there's junk accumulation, those I would just send in a request off of our website to go to the code enforcement person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have,
I know you're on a time
Okay,
limit, so I don't want to,
with-
we can
Good.
talk later.
with how large we're getting the city, do we have, have we been looking at adding additional days for code enforcement?
We have,
Okay.
yes, we
All
have.
right,
That'll be
I'll
a
send it
discussion
over.
for the council at goal setting, I believe.
Okay.
Thank you, Tracy. Appreciate it.
If I could just add one small thing to the lady's comment on the enforcement. In 2023, the state allowed cities that have the red light cameras can use those to get tickets now by themselves. I think it'd probably take a municipal judge and all that stuff, but and of course funding for those lights, but just another avenue to although I don't know that out on the state highway, that's kind of the problem versus the speeding around.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. So
That's it.
you're
yeah.
good? Okay.
Yeah.
And the next guest is Shirley Pickens.
I live up on Cascadia Ridge, live between, on Rockwell Drive. It goes between Cemetery Road and then comes up and hits Cascadia Ridge Drive. And my understanding is that we're looking at putting a speed bump on Cemetery at some point in there because it needs one. The people get very high speeds. But from where I sit in my house, especially when I'm doing yard work, I watch people all the time driving up at a regular rate of speed, a safe speed, and a car behind them. And what they do is they turn up Rockwell and they haul ass up Rockwell and turn right on Cascadia Ridge to go past that, to get ahead of that car that's going the speed limit. If you put a speed bump in up there, what you're going to get traffic doing is diverting up Rockwell. Rockwell is the one that has houses facing the road. They're the ones that have children out. They're the ones that have dogs out. So I would really love to see a speed bump on both of them. But if you put one on one, you really need to put it on Rockwell also. Because if you don't, you're creating much more dangerous situation because Cemetery doesn't have any houses facing it. It's all the back of houses. So you really don't see a lot of young children there. And the kids who do live usually walk, if they're walking, they walk up Rockwell. They don't walk up Cascadia. So anyway, that's the only thing I want to ask for, that if you do consider doing that, please do
Okay.
Rockwell also.
Okay. So we'll do Rockwell first and then cemetery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Shirley. All right, our next guest is Patty Sue Sparks.
First, I want to thank you for the opportunity to give you my idea. I own the property at 625 Northeast Sixth, and it's at the base of Cemetery and Copeland. And I came to the council a couple years ago with the same problem. Copeland, they're coming down 60 miles an hour. And you did change the speed limit from 45 to 35, but they're still coming down 60 miles an hour in front of my house. And not only that, when they're wanting to go up Cemetery, they put on the speed and just go. And what I propose is making that intersection a three-way stop sign. 2 stop signs and maybe 2 signs that say stop ahead. The problem also on Cemetery, they come down, they don't stop, they just turn. They just turn. I don't even think they look. They're just
Coming
turning.
down Cemetery to
Coming down
6.
Cemetery, they just turn. So,
Sorry.
I've had 2 high school kids over the years go through my fence. One touched my fence and knocked it in. The other one went straight through my fence up to my porch. He was going that fast. My neighbor who has a mailbox out there has been knocked down at least 3-4 times. And these are things that don't get turned in because, we work it out ourselves. We work it out with the parents because it's a high school kid. But I just want you to know it happens like once a year. I've been there 15 years and I was really happy to see Hill go through, but now I have Lawrence and Lawrence is coming down, and they are going 60 miles an hour right in front of my house. And I'm right next to the high school and it's going to be a sad day. It's going to be a very sad day. So that's my proposal.
Okay.
No humps, please, because if they hit a hump in front of my house, they're going to be
Right.
flying over my fence.
No, I
instead of
understand,
my fence. Yeah,
but you're number 10 on the agenda for us. And then I'm sure the council during the workshop will talk about that area because that's what we'll be talking about also.
yeah, but a 3-way stop sign, I think would really, really help a lot.
How about a turn lane to go on to Cemetery
I've heard you have it already proposed to do a turn
and the
lane.
transportation safety plan? Yes,
I really don't see it backing up because somebody's trying to turn.
right.
I don't see that, but, anyway, that's already been a part of the plan, I think. So I want to thank you very much for your time.
Excellent. Thank you, Patty. Anyone have anything for Patty or? No? Okay, thank you. All right. Next, we have Melody Charlton.
I wrote it so I can go faster.
Thank you.
for listening. I appreciate it. As we all know, our community is growing fast and it's getting larger every day. With the growth comes real concerns for safety of our children and our families and our animals. Every day I see people speeding through our neighborhood. I live on 985 North Broadway, right across from the River Mills School, and running stop signs, especially near the River Mills School. I've even been told by traffic guards that guard the school up on Main Street that on a daily basis, they are almost hit. I'm asking the council to please add more speed bumps and placing 2 stop signs by Big Jim's Market on 8th and Broadway. Make that intersection a 4-way stop. These simple changes could make a big difference in our keeping everyone safe. Taking these steps now would help protect our community without having to wait for something terrible to happen. Thank you so much. Appreciate you listening to me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Melody, I have a speed bump application if you would like it right now.
Okay, now, no, I have one.
You
Now
do?
this-
Okay.
Yes. Now, in front of the River Mill School,
Mhm.
where all the children go,
Yes.
are you saying that I have to get people on the street to sign this application?
Yes.
Okay, this is what I don't understand, because it is a school and it is the safety of the children.
Okay.
Why we are not allowed, you're not allowed to go in and do that, because it's for the safety of the children.
Mhm.
And for the safety of the guards up there that are stopping the people, they're the ones almost getting hit every day because people are going too fast. I'm happy to go out and petition, but I just don't understand why that you're not allowed to go do that in order to protect the children,
I definitely agree with
And-
you.
our guards up there.
City manager?
Thank you. That had, ever since Broadway punched through past the bus barn, that has been a concern. And then as Campanella neighborhood filled in, there's more and more people that come through there. So we're part of a program called the Thriving Communities Program. And, oops, sorry. And I'll be quick. They're doing, they're gonna actually study that whole area, 8th Street that comes down from the high school. It's not really a street, it's kind of an alley. How Broadway comes past the school, how the parking lot aligns, how it kind of has that little, it's that little whoop-de-doo right there. They're gonna take a look at that whole area and make a recommendation for how we can improve that, because it really, we did put the 3-way stop in at 10th. Went ahead and did that, but I think to start just, making random things to try to make it better, because it does need to be better. I think the better way to be to wait a few months till we get through this process. They'll make a recommendation. There's going to be a committee working on it, and then we'll go in and get it taken care of. But everybody who does drive through there on Broadway past River Mill School, please be cautious, because it's a school zone. It should be 20 miles an hour max any time of day. And if kids are present, I think it should be less than that, because it's a very constrained area. But we are working on getting a plan for that and getting that implemented. So,
Okay, thank you.
mhm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melody. Yeah, the next speaker is Melissa Dominguez.
Nice to meet
Hello.
you again. I've been here before. It's been a while ago. So I live in Campanella Estates, and my concerns are pretty much the same as Tracy's about the hill and forest area where it went through the pass-through, and now it definitely needs some type of a stop sign right there, because there's a lot of reports of kids trying to cross to get to school and the cars are just coming down, or if you're trying to get out of forest, you stop on that stop sign, but there's no stop coming from the left. So, and then it's like the blind corner.
From the extension.
Yeah,
into
from
the
the
development.
extension.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the one. And then the other one is traffic on Hill and Eagle Creek. It is all the time, speeding people through there. And if you're trying to get out of Hill, make a left, it's like
The trees are in the way.
trees are in the way, and there's just the cars keep coming and coming on this side, and the speed limit is 25, but I don't think they go 25. Yeah,
They don't.
I do, and then they get people behind me like, go faster. No, I'm not going faster for you. But I have seen more presence of sheriffs out there more recently, so that's good, but I never see anybody pulled over, but that's just during the time I go probably. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
Just wanted to.
So you'll see me taking notes and looking at the map, because some of you guys are talking about streets I've never heard of. So I'm still learning some of the newer streets in town, some of the like Hillway. I mean, I know of it now, but that was a new extension. So the deputies are making a concerted effort. I'm making notes of where you guys are mentioning problems. I mean, there's problems all over any city and all over any community, but the ones that you guys are bringing to us, I'm going to have them, actually go out and have a physical presence and do the enforcement that they can do. So I'm when I'm doing this, I'm not ignoring you. I'm actually trying to make sure I understand where you're talking about.
In front of the library too, like you would think, just because there's that sign that tells you how fast you're going, they don't care, they still do it, And then the little tiny 25-mile-an-hour flashing signs, maybe they can't see them, I don't know. They're just like blind, yeah, you. Exactly, yeah. But it's like, okay, you cannot see that says 25, right?
We'll make sure they see the red and blue lights better.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Melissa. All right. And, okay, last one we have is Rachel Cosmo McCart.
Good evening, and thank you for inviting the citizens to come and speak today.
Good evening.
That one area where I'd love to see some red and blue lights is at the four-way stop sign on Main and Fourth. That stop sign has been there long enough that everyone should be used to it. And about every other time I go through that intersection, somebody runs one of those stop signs. And I've noticed that there's more of them coming from Fourth that run the stop sign on Fourth. I don't know why that is. I certainly agree with all of the other comments tonight about excessive speeding through town being pretty shocking and dangerous. The couple of areas where I in particular have noticed it is folks coming up and down the hills on Broadway and Main, to the point where if you are making a right-hand turn out of Third onto Main Street, right by the Harvest Market there, many times I have sat there at that intersection, I've looked up the hill, I've glanced to the right, and by the time I'm ready to pull out into the intersection, somebody is almost on top of me coming down that hill. So I would love to see more stop signs at those intersections on, I would say, First, Second, and Third, and Broadway and Main. I think it would contribute to slowing people down. Although, I realize I'm contradicting myself by talking about people blowing through stop signs, but it would at least be a suggestion that many people would follow. So the last area I want to bring up as a concern that I had a front row seat to as a vendor at the farmer's market this summer and the last summer is how many people speed on 224 like they're in the Indianapolis 500 going both directions. And I don't know whether that's city jurisdiction or county jurisdiction right there.
State.
Yeah.
State.
So it's a state highway, but the county deputies, all the deputies assigned to the city are county deputies, and they can enforce the laws anywhere in the state. So they're not precluded from enforcing speeds on the highway. And they do. I find them parked out, by the old mill, parked all along the highway. When they're stopped, even writing reports, I'm like, hey, be visible, be out there if they're typing in their car. So whether they're watching the traffic or not, hopefully the traffic sees them at least and slows down a little bit. A lot of times it's a visual presence that does most of it. Because while you see them run a stop sign, a couple of our deputies are in big giant trucks that say sheriff down the side. Trust me, the citizens see those and they stop really quickly. So being visible is a huge help. And so that's, I want them out in the public, right? And that's what they've been trying to do, but I hear you, because 224 has always been a raceway.
Well, and that is fantastic. And I have noticed deputies in our communities more in the last couple of years, and I'm delighted to see them because I think exactly what you're saying, that it's a deterrent. That I have seen traffic enforcement by Les Schwab, by the old mill, like that end of town. I haven't yet seen it here. That doesn't mean it hasn't been done, but I think you could probably park in the Pasadero parking lot and pull over car after car. So
Yes, anywhere in town they go, they can definitely stay busy. So
yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you, everyone.
Excellent. Thank you, Rachel. All right, excellent. All right. So we'll move on here to the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the September 16th, 2025 consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, I have a first. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. Rena, all in favor? say aye.
Aye.
Aye. By 6. All right. Presentations. All right, Chief, take it away. Do you have anything? Steven?
So no, I didn't come with a formal presentation tonight,
Okay.
because I knew you guys had a big group of people showing up. I did want to talk a little bit about, I know the city manager had asked me to look into like crashes in the city, traffic crashes, things like that. And it has been, I went back and looked back to 2022. And it's been fairly steady with around the mid 20s crashes for a whole year, which is 2 a month. And as I started to look at the ones just this year, because it takes time to look into, let me go back. Of those 25 to 28 crashes, I think there were 9 that were actually reportable, meaning when the deputy showed up, there was enough damage or property damage or a crime that had occurred. So it was actually reportable to DMV. Otherwise, they're showing up and they're helping people exchange information, meaning it was a small fender bender. Maybe you bumped into somebody's fence or whatever. But there was no act that they were going to cite somebody for, or, take any other enforcement action. As I went back and looked at the reports, what I kind of thought was true, it's a lot of fender benders. It's a lot of, somebody getting rear-ended, somebody pulled out from a stop sign, and not running a stop sign. It was, somebody was driving with just their marker lights on and not their headlights right at dusk. They didn't see the car, they got hit. So I was hoping to find these big accidents that were happening due to speed, but I wasn't. I mean, speed can be a contributing factor in any crash, whether it's reported or not. But I was delighted to see that the crashes were all very minor. I mean, there's every now and then there was like a DUI crash that went into, caused some damage. We every now and then have, police pursuit that'll end up in town or come through town that ends up in a crash somewhere. But generally the crashes were pretty minor, and that's what I was noticing. And our actual traffic stops, our contacts were very high. I think we were in like 275 so far this year, maybe. Was it 400? Okay. So that's our traffic stops within the city of Estacada since January. We've had 471 traffic contacts where we have found somebody, committing a violation or a crime and, turned on our lights and stopped them and talked to them. That doesn't tell me what the outcome was, if they were cited or if they were warned or whatever happened. But that's a lot of traffic stops for a town this size, which is good. It tells me the deputies are out there doing their job. They're out there working and being present and doing everything they can to be proactive in the community. And that's what I'm going to continue to push. Chief Mendoza before me was pushing for that, really to have our folks out there and be active, because Estacada is an amazing city, and we want to keep it safe for all the people. I'm hearing all the concerns tonight about speed and traffic and stop signs and speed humps, and it's all registering for me. So I want to continue flying that flag and helping you guys with the objective to keep the city safe for everybody.
Excellent. Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Anyone have any questions for the Chief this evening? No? Okay. All right. Moving on to, anyone read over the fire chief's report? Have any issues with that? No? Okay. All right. So committee business, first, number 1, committee vacancy applicant. We have 1. Okay. Michelle Marthaler. I think I'm saying that right. You guys have all read her interest in joining. Is she here this evening? Oh, okay. So everybody's read where she works, her interests. She can make the meetings. What does everybody think?
You should join. I think she should join. She lives in the area that we're having problems with, and she's very, very oriented with the city of Estacada.
Okay. Mr. Dobbs?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys think?
We need another body.
Sounds good.
Okay.
We had someone else resign then?
No, we've had 6.
We've had an opening.
We've been driving
for a
for,
while.
yeah.
We haven't been operating at full.
Okay.
That many.
capacity.
Sounds
I'll
good.
go do that way.
Yeah.
All right. So someone want to make a motion to approve Michelle Marthaler as
I
committee
move,
member number 7?
Yeah, I move to approve Michelle Murthaler.
I'll
As-
second it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you. All right, second on the committee business, moving on to updates of the Campanella, Northeast Hillway, Broadway, Liberty Lane, crosswalks, street signage and speed hump additions. So going out there, recently, we have, new signage. I'm sorry, there's still no signage on the street. Did we happen to agree on which, street we were gonna go with, Melanie, on which was gonna be, like Shafford was gonna be the model, have the signage, speed hump ahead, speed hump on the ground, chevrons on the humps. That will be the model, or, because I noticed over, say, in Campanella, we
Mhm.
only have one that has chevrons and hump as of yesterday. I don't know about today. That was the new
I
one.
thought that I could be mistaken, but I thought they all had the chevrons, but the new one that just got put in
Mhm.
has hump on the ground also to
Right.
warn people they're coming up to that. And then that was put in this new project.
Right.
So the old ones that don't have the writing on the ground will also be getting that
Okay.
in the near future.
Excellent.
I don't know if that's required. I don't believe it's required. I've been in neighborhoods where sometimes it's marked, sometimes it's not, sometimes they just have signs.
Right.
It's a little expensive to put that down, but I think since this is kind of new to our community,
Right.
Public Works is gonna have that, go ahead and put those down on
Right.
all those.
We
street
just,
humps.
I mean, we just want to be consistent. Does everyone agree on that?
Yeah.
We just,
Yeah,
that's all.
I seem to recall, I
Go
think
ahead.
Shafford, we decided was going to be the model, the
Okay.
poster child for all of
Right.
that, so.
Matt, do you have some?
I'm kind of the idea that if you're going too dang fast and you sneak up on that bump, it's your own dang fault. And it's just kind of semantics, but some of the older streets where they have that, it says hump like on the ground and then the sign says bump.
Effort, yeah.
But like I say, it's just kind of semantics, but I guess the chevrons are helpful.
Definitely.
You know, it highlights. But I suppose someone might get a little out of control if they were going too dang fast and hit the thing, something, but.
They don't seem that high.
No, I did notice, I talked to some of the crew that was working on Sweetwater, where they used to have to do that stuff by hand. Now, their screed machine on their lead boy can, so that's pretty handy for them, I'm sure.
Okay.
Fast.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Excellent. And the other question I had, Melanie, was the crosswalks at Broadway and Hill. I'm sorry, yeah, Broadway and Liberty. Because we have when you put in the four-way stop at Hillway and Broadway,
Mhm.
Don put all 4 crosswalks there.
Yes, that is because that's a collector street versus Hillway is not that high of a grade of road. And so that's why every intersection is a crosswalk, whether it's marked or not, but
Right.
especially because Hillway has the bulk of the traffic flow. And it's designated a collector. That's why that got but if you notice, the other streets don't have, like
Right.
local streets don't have that.
Well, but that's what I thought we had talked about, was the crosswalk there. So when people were coming north on Broadway, they could go across that and then up to Hillway and then to the playground. That was the reason for the 4 there, because we added 2 more stop signs. And then there was talk when we were talking with Don and Council Metcalf about putting a speed hump on Liberty, because people cut down Liberty
Yeah, we
to
did.
get to that intersection.
We did talk about putting a speed hump on Liberty, but the traffic count on that street is just not really high enough to warrant it. But we can look at that. I think the council and you will have
Okay.
like the data that we've collected, and you could discuss that in the
Okay.
workshop. it doesn't seem like that warrant, like, seems like there's higher priority places for those speed humps.
Okay.
And then we'll have to, we can watch that, and maybe that Liberty might be part of the school study. I'm not sure about that, but typically it's the larger streets where we put the Continental crosswalks. Is
Right.
it Continental or is it Straight Line? I can't remember what's there.
No, it's Continental.
Okay. So that's why there's not one on Liberty, even though there is a four-way stop there.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have anything for Campanella? Everything? Okay. All right, moving on to the Estacada Traffic and Public Safety Drive Safe campaign updates. Well, I'm sure everybody's seen these all around town. Of course, anybody can go away with these this evening, but we met with Mr. Dobbs and I met with the school district on September 29th. We met with Ryan Carpenter and Danny Randall in regards to their area. We have something that we put together, 13 problem areas in the school zone areas, going out Eagle Creek Highway by the skate park. And then we have both apartment complexes we would like to have on Liberty and Hillway. And then a bunch of the intersections, improvements to crosswalks we'll be discussing in the workshop. But the big thing that Superintendent Carpenter stressed was 6th and Broadway, four-way stop. And I mean, with the houses coming, the population's going to be booming. I just don't know. We don't have the money to do it now. And 6th and Broadway at Big Jim's.
Yeah, and I have a comment on that
Okay.
too. Since
Go ahead,
since
Melanie.
the city's looking at approving, or, you know, I don't know where it's at, possibly having the food cart pod there,
Mhm.
you know, I think there is gonna be more of a traffic issue
Mhm.
personally.
Definitely.
So I think we really sooner rather than later need to concentrate on that area.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it wasn't a financial issue that made it not a four-way stop there. We had a study done, that I think it's on the
It is on the website.
Yeah, and it didn't recommend it. It said that we would not meet the threshold for a four-way stop there, in anywhere in the future that we were probably gonna be here, based on the traffic flow. And when you put a stop sign where there's not enough traffic, that encourages people to run it because they pull up to the stop sign, and except for during school drop-off and pickup hours, then there's a lot of times there's not a car there, so they tend to run it, but it sounds like they tend to run them anyway. And so the plan was, and once we get the school zone study back, my plan was, we'll see if it gets backed up by that, was to put the flashing crosswalks so for people crossing there. But you're right, with the food cart pod going in, I mean, maybe that might change the dynamic of that enough to warrant the four-way stop.
Go ahead,
And
Corinne.
then I had another question. So when, the study that you're referencing that is on the website, what year was that done?
That was last year.
Okay, so it was.
It was very.
since We've had the new developments going there and everything.
Yeah, it was June of 24. The
Okay.
always stop at 6th and Broadway. DKS Engineering performed that. They recommended better signage for pedestrian crossing because there wasn't enough vehicle traffic to warrant the four-way stop, but there is, Big Jim's is right there. It's kind of the go between the schools, so.
So were they not, I mean, I'm just curious because I need to go look at that, but did they not take into consideration all of the new development especially
they
like the
did.
apartments that are right there,
I don't-
down up the road?
They did traffic counts. I mean, you'll have to read it. but-
Okay,
'cause
yeah.
And it's
I
kind
know,
of out
I'm
of my
picking your
wheelhouse,
brain
but
like right now.
yeah,
Sorry.
they did traffic counts and traffic estimates and such,
Okay.
and it just didn't meet the two-way, having the stop on Broadway. That's probably
I feel like we need a
better
second
than, I
opinion.
don't know, yeah. You could get,
Well,
the council doesn't always, they take the reports that we get and they evaluate them, but based on what they know about the community,
Yeah,
and make decisions. So,
okay.
but yeah, that's where we were at. So we haven't got the flashy crosswalk signs up there yet. But that was a plan, but we are, like I said, in the next few months, working on that Thriving Communities program
Jim, can I
that you'll
comment?
all be
Yeah,
working on
hold on
too.
a second.
And then,
Just-
and that'll be done in a few months, right?
Mhm,
Project,
mhm.
okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, this school year.
Thank you.
Yeah,
a comment.
just hold on a second. And also the other was the speeding on Northeast Pierce, that people from the community have been calling into the school district in regards to that. So we've obviously solved that problem. So, and then on that same note, we're gonna be pairing with the school district, ODOT, to do the safe routes to school again. So we're gonna walk with all these people to do the walk audit to see firsthand. The last time it was done in Estacada was 2017. Some of those things still haven't been completed in the school zones. So we'll obviously update that and make sure the council gets part 2, 8 years apart. And also we've been invited to the Halloween event at the football stadium by the school district. If anyone wants to participate at our table. Mr. Dobbs and I have already recommended 31st of October to
What time?
promote I'm gonna get more information. 5 o'clock is set up and 6 o'clock. Everyone should be there. So if anyone's,
So you two are gonna be there?
yes,
What are you gonna be dressed as?
myself. Or a Ranger shirt. Okay,
You can or you
Excellent.
can't?
and we can do some national night out stuff or. we have some of
Sure,
that
yeah,
stuff.
well, I'll go to the storage unit and grab all the
Okay.
goodies.
All right. Does anyone else have anything? I think Carrie, you had something, and Shirley?
I have a question, Melanie. Who determines the study? Who is on the study? What are the people, what is their position on the study of Sixth and Broadway? Who are they?
We had that done by our traffic engineering firm, DKS Engineering. So like I said, they make recommendations based on the standards that they typically, would go by. But I also know that ODOT said there should be no left turn on the main street off the highway. And because the standard said at the stoplight, the left turn to go down to Lakeshore is could stack up and that's gonna cause problems. And we all know that doesn't really happen out here. It's not likely to happen. And so because of city council pushback, we still have a left turn, thankfully, onto Main Street. And so we take what the professionals tell us about it. And a lot of times we think, yep, that makes sense. And other times the council says, I think I'm going to push back on that a little bit and they'll make a different decision. But this is a traffic engineering firm, the one that helps us with led the transportation system plan update. So it's kind of what they do. But that's what their recommendation at the
Okay,
time.
and they don't live here, right?
No, they
Okay.
don't live here and they don't make the final decision. They just turned in the data from the study.
Sure.
Mhm.
Okey dokey.
Yep.
Okay,
Shirley,
Melody.
Yeah.
I
I feel like I
live-
shouldn't be here. I mean, we got 5 minutes, folks.
Okay, I live up in Casadero Court. I drive 6th Broadway to 6th Avenue. I sit anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, sometimes even get out of that road. And the bus drivers are just as bad. We need a 4-way stop.
Mhm.
Also, the kids are crossing the crosswalk. People almost run over them. They don't pay attention to those kids and the kids don't pay attention to the traffic. So it needs a 4-way stop there.
Okay,
Other,
thanks, Shirley.
other than that, there's gonna be, one of these kids are gonna get killed one of these days. Okay,
I hope not, but thanks
you.
for that input.
Okay, anyone else on that topic? Thank you. Okay, on the signs, we're running out of these signs. So I just wanted to propose something to do a next set of signs here for the committee. Does anyone else have any suggestions? I think we should keep drive safe on one side and come up with something for the other side.
kids that play.
I saw the one that was slow down, Karen.
I like that one.
I did.
Easy there, turbo, I saw too. That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Acronyms?
Yeah, no acronyms, no.
Jim?
Those were- Yes,
I have one that I see all the time. It's red, or it can be that color. It says, kids at play, do your kids live here? Drive safe,
That's good.
you know?
Yeah.
that's good.
Or
drive like your kids.
Drive like your kids live here.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it really catches people's.
Mhm.
What does everybody think?
That's a good one. I've seen
Like
that.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what
I
color
mean-
should it be?
Orange?
Orange
I
and
don't
black?
know.
Red.
Red?
Red
Red?
and white.
Red and white?
Red and white?
Yep.
Okay. What happens if orange and black a little bit
Well,
better?
either one, but just make sure it shines at night.
Yeah,
Can we have like a little kid silhouette on it?
Yeah, it has the kids on it.
so drive safe signs.
Yeah, red, white, and blue.
Yes.
That would cost us too much. We could put metallic paint on it.
Okay, and can someone make a motion for that? The drive safe signs on one side and what was the other side?
Drive like your kids live here.
Drive like your kids live here.
I move to go with Shirley's suggestion.
All
I'll
right.
second that.
All right, Karina and Matt. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Thank you. Moving on to Fourth and Main Street intersection.
Can I make a quick suggestion?
The
'Cause
what?
could you pick out the most, the critical things to discuss tonight? Because
Sure.
the other meeting is on a different Zoom link, I think, and then
Okay.
I'm afraid people are going to be waiting on that if we go. I mean, you can definitely go past 7 if you want,
Okay.
as long as the council's okay with that, but I just thought we should try
I-
to maybe push some things forward to your next.
I
meeting.
have about 7 things. One got left off, but we can do that next month. I just want to make a motion to approve a pedestrian signs slow a school intersection here at Fourth and Main. Every single time I'm in my truck with my granddaughter, someone's blowing the stop sign. Good weather, bad weather, all the time. And I've had it, like someone said earlier. It's been there long enough. I was in Gresham today. There's red tape that they put around the poles. Can we do something else to,
Good news. Public Works has ordered the stop signs with the little flashy lights around them.
Okay.
Because those are because we didn't do bump outs on that street, they're pretty far off to the side. And so I know that they're that way up Broadway and Second, they're really far off the side also. So it shouldn't be an issue, but it does seem to be. So those signs should be here tomorrow.
okay,
And those will get installed right away, at least for the ones on Main Street. Now I'm hearing that people on Fourth Street are running that, but that seems like that's a common sense thing to stop before you, and the sign isn't as far away. So we'll start with them on Main Street. And they'll get those installed as soon as they can, because they should arrive tomorrow.
okay.
Yep.
All
So
right.
that will help.
So, okay, we'll squash that one. We'll go to the next one. Had citizen approach the committee, the 40-mile-an-hour sign out here as you're coming into Estacada. That sign, obviously, we can ask ODOT to move it back towards the sewage treatment plant in Dick's Logging. Because 4:30 in the morning, trucks are hauling into town and they're using their brakes. And half of Lake Shore gets woken up.
That,
2:35. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
that is a conversation with ODOT that has been started.
Okay,
And so, I had my druthers that B35 pushed way back out to the, yeah. Yeah, at least. Yes, it needs to be moved out. So that conversation has been started with ODOT. We don't have jurisdiction on the highway.
okay.
And there's also trees blocking the signs. Some of
That's
the
already
trees we
been
just
submitted.
planted and the trees they planted 15 years ago are now blocking signs too. So we're asking them to take care of all that.
And we have submitted those questions to ODOT, and that was
Yes.
when the governor wasn't going to give them any money.
Yes.
And she still hasn't signed it. So we're gonna do a motion now and we will contact ODOT
Okay,
about the signs.
perfect.
We've contacted them about the crosswalks. So people from Lakeshore can get across the hitching post. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna come out and cut, so we're gonna do it,
I think we should push on that. Yes.
okay?
But-
So I'd like to make a motion to move the 40-mile-an-hour sign and work with ODOT to put it way out there, even closer to the nursery.
So moved.
So moved, all right,
They'll probably have to do a speed study.
okay.
But
can do-
that's.
We'll do
that's
that later.
okay. If you keep pushing on that.
We can recommend that to the council, no problem.
Isn't there, two ways to do the traffic engineering? One is more dependent on like actual accidents and stuff. I thought, I don't remember the other version, but
No, no. Usually what they told us in the past really quickly is that they have to do a speed study. And if they do a speed study and people are driving too fast, it could actually cause the speed limit to go up. And that scared us off at the time, where that would just let it ride. But I think that there's so much more traffic now. And I think probably, I would hope that the speed would actually come down back farther out. But we'll see. But I think that's something that this committee could definitely push on to try to move to get the speed readjusted on the highway coming through town.
because that's arterial, of course.
It's a
Is that what they,
state highway. I'm not sure
Um,
what we have it
if they
categorized.
call it, say,
Major,
suburban fringe can be 35 to 45, so they,
That'd be
as a
great.
statutory.
yeah. It
uh,
would be
speed
great if
limit
they
there.
push it out farther.
Oh, we good with that?
Abs-
Okay.
Did you get a
Thanks.
second on that one?
Yeah, I need a second on that one.
I second that.
Carrie, thank you. All in favor? Say
Aye.
aye. Aye, motion passes. Thank you. All right. Do you want to just briefly go over,
Table 7. Want to just table number 7?
yeah, we can,
Yep, let's table that.
and we'll table the Harvest Market one, but I want to go to number 9 on the speed hump eligibility checklist. I want to recommend to the city council, number 5 on the front page, the grades on the street, less than 8%. I would like to make it on a case by case basis, if everyone's okay with that. To add that to the policy. Since we wrote this policy, we have every right to amend it and send it to the city council as a recommendation.
What is the limit on the amount of grade?
8%,
Typically, 8 is all.
right,
Minimum.
right.
Yeah, I think it should be
Maximum.
case by case.
Oh,
So can I get a motion to amend the speed hump eligibility checklist?
I make a motion to amend the speed hump checklist.
I
Okay.
second.
Okay, Carrie. And Karina, thank you. Say all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. So. And let's see, we'll talk about it the next one. I just want to, I appreciate the chief talking about the accident, so that, just want to do one thing here before we leave. I was able to contact Clackamas County. You know, we have a Drive Safe campaign. Well, they have a Drive to Zero campaign. So you can contact their Department of Transportation if you would like to get this. These are free. We're in Clackamas County, so they're legal, of course. And also, if you would like to contact the Department of Public Health, send them an email. They have gun locks. You can get up to 5. You can go over there and pick them up at the Red Soils campus. Have a small gun safe. So you can get 2 of those.
Right?
Yep.
Free. All this is free. And then you can get 2 large ones. And also keep everything all safe and away from the kids. Also have a nice rifle case. And they have everything inside. Lock it away from the kids and the grandkids.
Could we get that, maybe on social media? Maybe, like a post, a link to that to remind everybody? Yeah,
Yep. We
That'd
can
be
do
all.
that. All right. That's all I have, everyone. If anyone have anything else, we can definitely push all those other ones to the
well, do we want
next
to get,
month.
do we want to request that that's posted on social media?
Yeah, we can do that. I don't think we need a motion for that, but
Well, she said if that was something we want.
oh, okay, sure.
Do we need to move for that or? Like share it or something?
Right.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, excellent. So anyone have anything else?
I don't know, do we have an update on the crosswalk on Eagle Creek and between the park and the library?
We'll talk about that in the next meeting.
Good. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Nope, I think you covered
Okay.
it.
And we got 7:04. I now close this meeting of the Traffic and Public Safety meeting. Thank you all for attending. I appreciate it. Thank you.